Hello and welcome back to the When We Were Kids, a Monsters in the Toy Box podcast. Life is hectic as always, so we get these in when we can. So, with that being said, my life has been hectic because I've had 2 toy shows in 2 weeks. This is my week off, and then I have 2 more toy shows. I'm skipping a toy show this weekend because I just never done it and I don't feel like doing it. So, yeah, so 4 shows in 5 weeks. I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
How do you decide what to take to what show? Because like you got to split up your inventory between stores and then also between like show week to week.
That's a very good question. I don't know anyone who does this but me because I'm super anal about it. I'll set stuff aside for certain shows because I know what to bring for certain shows and other shows. It's like I just bring like just stuff that I want to like blow out or whatever. So I did Hoosier Collecticon, which is everything has to be like, I think pre-1994.
Okay.
I believe it is. And that's put on by like Froggy Flips and his buddy Tim. So it has to be all vintage. So I stockpiled a bunch of stuff for that show. And the stuff that I'm like, oh, because everyone there wants like My Pet Monster, weird, gross out toys, stuff like that. The stuff I thought was going to sell there didn't. Like I sold like a Hulk toy box and some other random stuff. I'm like, anything I saved for that show did not sell.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, never doing that again. But then I did. Last weekend was D&E show Toypalooza, which they just moved it to the Monroeville Convention Center, which is way better because 1, there's actually parking. 2, I don't have AstroTurf in my shoes, and I have to walk around on cement floors, which kills my back. So it's a give and take process. But I saved a ton of Star Wars for that show. I think I only sold 1 because like they sell a ton of Star Wars. So I'm like, I'm gonna save Star Wars. Sold 1. Then I sold goofy crap that I just got in last minute and brought to, it's so weird. I try to do each show individually of what I think the people want from me doing the shows previously. Like, for example, Toypalooza, I sell a ton of Lego usually. And Transformers, which I have none of at all. So I couldn't bring any of that. So I brought like old horror stuff, which shockingly sold. Hot Toys, which I can never even like give away. I sold 90% of the Hot Toys I brought, which shocked the living crap out of me.
What are Hot Toys?
Stupid, expensive adult toys. Like they do like Star Wars, Alien, like they do DC, Marvel. They're highly articulated.
Okay. Like
super detailed figures. Like I sold a Star Wars, like it's a tripod. I think it was a tripod laser. That's all it was a gun for a toy. $200.
People like their articulated toys.
Well,
or articulate
in the
toys.
shop because everyone in this area always asks me for Hot Toys and Sideshow. We got a ton in Austin town. No one looks at them. Brought all the Star Wars ones to Toypalooza, and I think I had 6 of them, and I left with 1. They're like highly articulated. They're stupid expensive. Some like the second they stopped making them, they skyrocket in price. Like I sold a Han and Chewie for like $400.
Dang.
Yeah, they're like dumb expensive. Like I don't get it, but and then for like next weekend I have your Ohio Toy Show, so that I have to bring like old stuff. Those people love like lunch boxes, old horror, and just really weird, goofy old shit. Like the one time I had a guy buy me out of $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman stuff. Like in that show, I'm notorious for selling half the booth before the show ever starts.
Yeah, what happens when you take like you get one guy that just buys you out of your stock of one entire line of whatever, and the rest of the show you don't have any of that anymore.
I have to run around trying to find stuff, trying to restock my table.
Oh, so you buy stuff there.
It's just mainly cheap garbage that I throw out because it's funny. I do more money during setup at that show than I do during the actual show. Like, because like I literally had last time I had 3 sealed G1 Transformers. Some guy bought all of them. And then someone bought me out of like Primal Rage toys, like something else.
Mm.
Like that show, I notoriously sell half my booth during setup to where I'm like frantic. This time I'm bringing a trailer, so I'm hoping that I can fit enough stuff in the trailer to where when I sell half the booth, I can just go back onto the trailer and bring in more.
Yeah.
And then like Toy Hio, I specifically try to set stuff aside. Like I just got a wrestling collection in yesterday, so I set aside most of that. I set aside some stompers for Toy Hio. Some Star Wars stuff. Some other weird stuff.
Keep talking this fucking chair.
We're having chair difficulties. We talked about this before the show started. But yeah, so each show, it's hard. You have to do one, in my opinion, you have to do one show to figure out what the people at that show want. Because you have to go into like each show differently. Mm. And and I see so many of the same people at shows, so I try not to bring the same stuff to like every show, because I'm like, I know I'm gonna see this person, or I'm gonna see these people, and they already saw the crap I have. So like when I do like Maryland, I can pull stuff from the store to go to do the Maryland Toy Expo, because those people aren't driving 5 hours to my store.
Yeah.
So, and then when I do the there's another show, it's like 5 hours away. It's called the York Toy Stravaganza, I think. It's like Thanksgiving weekend. I just bring whatever I don't want to see anymore there.
Yeah.
Because like I never see any of it. Those people like stay in York and like don't travel anywhere. So I just bring whatever I want to dump, and that's it. But speaking of, like, Roy actually asked a question about like toy hunting and stuff like that, about like what do I look for and what do I know to look for. Basically, some people do this, some people don't. A lot of people don't do it, and I don't understand why. But for me, I'm shopping for 2 stores now. Both stores sell different things. Like Warren sells, don't ask me why, vintage plush. Sell a ton of vintage plush, Transformers. Don't get it, but whatever. Austintown sells a crap ton of wrestling and just weird vintage. So like, when I'm out hunting, I have to look for things for each store. Then I have to look for stuff to sell and whatnot. Then I have to look for stuff for toy shows. For toy shows, I pretty much just try to find like heavy hitter stuff or super weird stuff that no one else is gonna have, because I don't want to, because I don't want to have the same stuff that everyone else has. I want to be able to stand out and have like the eye catching things. Like at Toy Palooza, I just got in this Gargantua. It's this big, ridiculous looking monster, which I didn't even know they made. They made it in like 2007. One with the box just sold recently for $600. Mine didn't have the box. So many people asked about it, manhandled it, everything else, but it didn't sell. Because I told them, I go, listen, the last one sold for this much money. I priced mine like $100 less because mine didn't have the box. I put like $250 on it, and everyone was like, I never seen one. I'm like, yeah, because they're stupid expensive, and clearly no one bought dumb things, because it was in this like huge, ridiculous horror collection I got in. The person drove from Illinois to sell it. But another thing too, we actually just talked about this before we started recording. I've been on the hunt for BJ for a WWF trash can. Would you believe that I didn't find the trash can together?
How is it apart? Like, is it like, I'm assuming it's a wrap around the can. They printed the stuff on to metal. Yeah. And then they would curve the tops and curve it around, put the bottom in and all that stuff. Someone had the 2 sections cut in half and everything. And this is only the second time I've ever seen that. The first time was when it came into, when Time Capsule Toys was in Girard. It was the liner of the bottom of a tote that was filled with LJNs. Found out that they were like made in Youngstown. Some metal company here was the one manufacturing them. So the guy took the print that was on the metal, cut it in half, and brought it home to his kid. So his kid could, and he put pinholes in it so his kid can hang them on the wall. Well, at Toy Palooza, someone had the 2 sections of the trash can. And he was like,
I think this is from the trash can. I go, no, it is the trash can.
Mm-mm.
But I said some of them got out of the warehouse because people brought them home and like hung them on their wall. So no one had the trash can, but someone had the
panels
to the trash can. And I'm like, my buddy is looking for the trash can. I'm like, but he doesn't want this.
He
wants the actual trash can, which is crazy that I saw the panels before I've even found the trash can again.
Yeah, lesson learned. If you see something that you're thinking about buying, just buy it because it goes away. That was a couple years ago now that I saw that trash can. I haven't seen one since.
I know. It was crazy. I was like, how do I see this before I see the trash can? When these are only the second ones I've ever seen. Yeah, he wanted like, it was like $60, $70 a piece.
For the panel. What's the trash can going for now? It's like $100, or is it less than that?
My guess is it has to be around $75.
I thought it was
There's
around
been a
75-ish,
large, don't ask me why, but trash cans, vintage trash cans have seen a surge in price. Like my buddy sold me, this was a couple years ago, he sold me a G.I. Joe trash can. He goes, give me $10 for it. I said, I don't want it. He goes, no, trust me. You'll want it for $10. I didn't even look it up. I was like, whatever. I gave him $10. I sold that stupid trash can for $125. And he probably bought it for like a Goodwill Dig Bins.
Yeah.
Probably paid by the pound for it. So probably got it for 56 cents. But like, I don't know what the surge of vintage trash cans is, but it's crazy. Like Planet of the Apes one's like $200. And then there's like a Dukes of Hazzard one that I've had once, and Scott bought it from me. Because his story was, it was the only time in his life his mom ever got mad at him as a kid. She kicked his Dukes of Hazzard trash can all the way down the hallway. And she said, if you ever find another one, I'll buy it for you. And it took like 30-something years.
That's right.
And it came into the shop and it looked like it was never used. Those go for like freaking close to $200 now, I think. But yeah, I don't know what it is with vintage trash cans. They're money now.
Yeah, I never had one, but I think we said this before. I had the stupid thing, like the basketball hoop that you stuck on the trash can, you'd throw whatever, and you eventually smash those till the whole thing just fell in the trash can. But I never actually had a vintage, not that I can remember anyway. If I did, it was so far ago or whatever that I just, my brother might have had was there a Transformers one? I'm sure there was.
It had to have been one. They had to have done one for like literally everything.
He might have had a Transformers one. Yeah, I feel like everything.
I had a Browns one. The Browns one I had was one of them. It was like a circle, not an oval, and they were taller than the normal.
I remember seeing those at friends' houses and stuff too. But yeah, I don't think we ever had one. Like I said, we just had just a regular trash can with a stupid basketball hoop on that we eventually mashed right into the garbage because we dunked on it too hard. I had the basketball
hoop on the back of my door that had the laundry bag.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
I remember those too.
I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Then you shortly realize that they're not that cool at all.
Let's see how many chairs I can go through in this fucking podcast.
We're at 2. We're going on number 3 now.
Let's see if this one stinks. They all suck. We got to get Joe to get some new have I tried every one of the red ones? I think I have. All right, so we're switching.
We're going to black. We're going to black chair now.
Black chair now. This one looks like it's been sitting a lot less. So let's try this one. There we go. No squeak.
No squeak. No weird movements.
Some WD-40 in here for these chairs.
Got up the budget.
Yeah, right.
I saw a picture earlier today. I don't know if you saw it. I posted it of what the Eastwood Mall looked like back in the day with the fountains.
I didn't see.
I saw it for a glimpse, and it said like Ohio, whatever, and it said like Eastwood Mall. Do you remember the mall back in the day when it had all those fountains?
See, I never went to the Eastwood Mall growing up. We were just Southern Park. So,
okay.
What I remember about Southern Park that was different was I remember I was eating at that Burger King that was right in the front that was like the window front for the Burger King which is right next to, I think it was between two of the bigger stores, Penny's and Kaufman's or whatever the hell was over there. But I remember that. yeah, I don't think I didn't go to Eastwood Mall until I was in high school.
Okay, so Eastwood Mall was the mall I went to. So you went to Southern Park Mall.
Yeah.
What stuck out in your mind besides the Burger King about the Southern Park Mall? I never went there as a kid, so I couldn't even tell you what the hell was there.
So I remember always going into Spencer Gifts all the time. And then I would always be in Walden Books. They had the Walden Books there. They had another one, was B. Dalton, I think was the other one, the other bookstore they had there. I remember always going to the bookstores. And then I remember always going in, like they had NRM, so they had music stores there too. But I remember like I would only ever buy anything from there if it hit a sale bin or something, or like, you know what I mean, or they were dumping something or whatever, because like a CD or whatever was like
so expensive,
ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's breaking every chair today.
Look at where
it started high and got real low. Like real low. I think it got worse than the orange ones.
All right, let's see this one. Now we're real high.
He's just playing musical chairs with himself. He keeps losing.
That's 4 chairs.
So for me, Eastwood Mall, like I mentioned this before, the Eastwood Mall was like an experience. Malls are not an experience anymore. They're all cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Like everything looks the freaking same. Like I hate it. It's like what we talked about before with fast food restaurants. They all look the same.
Yeah.
There's no like nothing stands out. And that's how I feel when I go to the mall. Like seeing that picture of the Eastwood Mall and those fountains and the dim lights, it just like, and the signs and everything else, it just was so different. Because we had the fountains, and you'd be able to walk down the steps and like sit around them, crap like that. In KB, I used to love going to KB, but my parents never bought me anything there.
I worked there for a minute back in high school, the one in the Southern Park Mall, and I got fired. I fired / quit. It was sort of a mix of both, because I worked in the front and like people would come in and just steal stuff. And I was getting paid like $5 an hour at a high school. And like, they were like, oh, you got to go after them if they steal something. I'm like, I'm not going after anybody who steals something. Like, I don't know who these people are. So yeah, like old ladies would come in. I remember one old lady walked in and she stacked up a whole bunch of board games and put all these Barbies on it. And she literally, it was comical. She couldn't see over the top of the stack of shit she had, and she just walked right at the door. And I was talking to my friend there. He's like, "You gonna follow her?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna follow her. I don't care. You gonna call?" I'm like, "No, she can have it." Like whatever.
Old people steal a lot of crap.
They do.
They love to steal batteries and candy.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like the cheapest stuff they have to steal.
Mm.
No, but KB I really liked. I used to love the dig bin and stuff like that, but I never got anything from KB. And no joke, I just found this out like a couple years ago. The KB stickers. Someone actually didn't use a red pen to cross them out and write the new thing. They were printed like that.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, I was like, "Oh, man, someone's hand must be cramping." Then people were like, "No, look, here's KB stickers. You can buy them."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, God damn it!" So I always, for the longest time, I always thought that it was someone's job just to cross out prices and write down new ones.
No, well, every once in a while, we used to have to go put new stickers on stuff that the prices changed or whatever. You have to go around and just stick it right over the old one. So,
yeah, I miss the days of, oh God, especially now after going to these shows and seeing some of the prices. It's like Swamp Thing figures at KB, 3 for $1. And then I'm at Hoosier, and the Swamp Thing figures are $50 to $60 a piece.
They used to, I remember at KB, I remember working, like, because me and this other kid would have to unload the trucks when they would come there, whatever. And I know after so long, if stuff wouldn't sell, like they would have to send it back to whatever manufacturer or that sort of thing, whatever. But it was like you were supposed to like cut it, or you had to do something to damage the box and to send it back. And I just remember there being this giant pile of toys, of just random stuff that was getting all sort of like sent back, and I was supposed to like cut it all out. I was like, whatever, we just tucked it in the garbage. I think somebody came and took it all. I should have taken it all. In hindsight, I should have taken, I should have just taken all of it home, because no one would have cared or no one would have known.
Probably.
Yeah. And then I could have sold it to you.
Made a lot of money.
Right.
So what music stores did you guys have at Southern Park Mall?
NRM was one. Which
was National
Record Mart. And there was one more later. NRM became something else, and I can't remember what it was or what it turned into.
I think Eastwood Mall had NRM. I think. And then I think it switched over to Waves Music.
I think we had a Waves too. Like our NRM went out of business and then Waves opened up, or it switched.
Yeah,
it was one
I think Waves Music now is where, if my memory serves me right, is where that weird Christian bookstore is. These small, if it's still there, I'm not even sure. But I remember going to Waves, to obviously look at CDs and stuff like that when I was in high school. But I also would go to FYE. But Waves, I'd hate going in there. I think I mentioned this before because it smelled like pee.
See, I don't remember Waves.
Like our Waves just smelled like pee all the time. Like you'd walk in there and you're just like, oh my God. Like it just smelled like someone just pissed on the carpet every day.
Once CD Warehouse came around, it was rare that I'd buy anything from a mall music store anyway, unless it was on sale or whatever, or hit the discount bin. But yeah, once CD Warehouse came around, like everybody
my old stomping ground.
Because you could go there and get, especially if it was something popular or new that came out you wanted, because like immediately people would return it. There'd be a stack of you get it for like $1 or $2
I have some good CD Warehouse stories from when I would go there in high school to working there years later. One of them was I bought the Crazy Town CD. I don't even think I had it for a day. And I sold it to the one CD Warehouse in Niles. And the girl working goes, oh my God, there's going to be people fighting over this. People keep asking for it. I said, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's honestly terrible. She goes, oh God, yeah, it's going to fly out of here. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, because it's so bad. I think that's also where I bought my first Punk-O-Rama CDs was CD Warehouse in Niles. I also bought something else from them. Oh, I think I bought like Riddle Box or something from there from ICP.
There was a ton. I remember getting a ton of CDs. I remember having to buy some of my own CDs back from CD Warehouse because my brother took a bunch of them and I'm getting rid of all these, whatever. He would get it and then he would sell them all back. He never kept anything, whatever. But he took a bunch of ones that were mine or wanted. I'm like, what the hell? So but he would write Lisco on all the CDs that he had. So I go back and all right, there's the one my brother sold back. I just bought it twice. Yeah. A lot of that. And I remember too, it was always a bad sign when you saw 40 copies of something there, because it was like, oh boy, this is probably bad. I remember that one Danzig record where Danzig went industrial. There was 50 of them there for $1 a piece. Whatever. It was like, oh, the latest Danzig record. It was the most god awful bunch of crap ever. This doesn't sound like Danzig at all. You can't even hear his voice.
I'll never forget when I worked at the CD Warehouse in Boardman. This before it switched over to buybacks. I can't remember if it was Load or Reload or Saint Anger. I know it was a Metallica album. This dude bought it at Best Buy, put it in a CD player, pulled into the CD Warehouse parking lot, walked in and sold it to us, and goes, I just bought this from Best Buy. It has to be some of the worst music I ever heard in my life.
That's not a long drive. For me, the Best Buy. Was it the Niles one?
No, it was a Boardman.
I mean, it's literally the parking lot next door.
It took him that long. He opened it, put it in his CD player, listened to it till he got to the store, took it out, came in and sold it to us, and told us about how bad it was.
The Metallica Saint Anger record I did that with. I remember getting it and being like, what?
It had to have been Saint Anger.
It was the biggest, what a rotten garbage album that is. And I haven't listened to it in years. And Metallica just started, I have Sirius radio in my car, and I get it for my wife every year for Christmas, whatever. So I have it in both cars. But they put a Metallica channel on there now, And yeah, I hadn't heard that record in years and years, and then they are playing a bunch of songs from Sing. I'm like, God, like how did this? Like this is like the worst record. Oh, so bad. I mean, say we go about I mean, even the other records that were, you know, different from Metallica, whatever, like they were at least like okay records. Like it might be thrash anymore, or whatever. Like Saint Anger was just like it was the biggest hunk of crap ever.
Yeah, I'll never forget the guy listened to it for I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes.
That's all you needed to. That's all you needed to hear.
It's awful. I'm selling it.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah.
Other mall memories. I remember. I think I remember what it was. Suncoast in the Southern Park Mall. Was it where Hot Topic is now?
Suncoast? I think so, yeah.
Okay, because the Suncoast and the Eastwood Mall, I believe, was down by... I think it was down by Kaufman's, if memory serves me right. Because I used to go to Suncoast all the time, one for horror movies, because it was like the only place that had a really weird, obscure... like horror movie section. Then they also carried action figures, so I'd get a ton of my horror figures from there. And here's a blast in the past too with my horror figures I used to collect. Spencer's used to actually sell toys that were not sexual.
Yeah, I remember when they had toys there. I remember going to Spencer's always in like I bought a lot of posters from Spencer's, like the poster rack and stuff. You flip through there because they would have big music posters of like whatever bands you like and stuff too. So I remember buying a handful of those from there too. But it always sucked when you flip through and then you go to the box and the poster wasn't there. It was sold. I was like, shit, like I wanted that poster. And then I had to ask like, hey, can I just take this one out of here? Sometimes they would let you buy it out of there, but like other times like no, because we're getting more in or whatever.
But they don't even have those poster things anymore anywhere.
No. Do they even have like the rack? It'd be cool just to own the poster rack and just sit it in the corner of your house.
I saw someone actually had one before. The one thing too that I used to have this at the shop before. Places would have the boxes that have a poster on the front, and then it'd have your options at the top.
Yeah,
I had one of those for Beavis and Butthead. My buddy Jake sent it to me He texted it to me and said, "How cool is this?" And it was unused. It was on eBay, and I bought it.
Nice.
Then I had it in the shop, so I sold all the Beavis and Butthead posters. But coincidentally, I actually just saw that store display at Toypalooza. Someone had it, but it didn't have any of the posters in it.
Oh, I gotcha.
But yeah, anymore, I don't even think. Does anyone even sell rolled posters anymore? Is there anyone that actually sells posters?
Not in a store, no. Like I've bought a couple in the last year, the real big 24x36 ones. I bought one of Kiss from the 80s, from like I think it was like their Asylum tour or something like that, whatever. That was vintage, whatever. And then I bought another one that was AC/DC Fly on the Wall. It was a big advertisement for the record, and it's huge and it's whatever. But yeah, just as far as finding old ones on eBay, yeah, but I don't know any places that still sell posters though. I mean, I bet you they do it. What's the place in the mall now? It's the quote unquote music store now, but it's not. They don't have music anymore. Really, it's like mostly just figures and games and stuff.
Oh, FYE.
Yeah, like I bet they probably have. They probably still have them there.
Has to be selling posters.
Like I mean, yeah, they probably have them there.
Something that has gone away, and now it's gonna make a miraculous comeback. Like everything else. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm trying to think of who even has, but probably nobody. No one probably posters are a thing of the past. No one wants them anymore. I'm so sick of rain. It's been raining like nonstop for like the last 3 freaking days. One of my favorite things to do when it rains, especially on Sundays, is just to watch football and nap on and off. But do you have any like go-to rainy day movies or TV shows?
Like for like now, no, not like now. Currently, no, not really. Back in the day, I'm trying to think of any movies my brother and I watched or whatever. Like, I remember recording Ghostbusters off the TV as a kid and like watching that all the time. I watched it on sick days, on rainy days. I wore that tape out. That had I wish I still had it because it had all the advertisements for whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, I wore that thing out. Is there any other things that we like? I mean, as far as other TV shows, I'm trying to think that we might have watched back in the day. Because I mean, back then, yeah, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot. It was just, you were at the mercy of whatever was on. It wasn't like it wasn't like today. I mean, now today you can watch whatever the hell. You know what I mean? I just went through the whole new season of like the latest season of Beavis and Butthead, and then like the recent episodes, which are fantastic, by the way. That reboot is awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, nothing. We were sort of all over the map, man. My brother and I, as far as like growing up, whatever. It was more like video games and stuff, or playing games, or doing or that than necessarily TV or movies.
I'm so weird when it comes to that stuff because it has to be in the realm of the elements.
So it's got to be rainy too, or like
yes,
or I'm like rain themed.
It's like I'm trying to think. Like for example, if it was rainy and crap like that, I'd watch Jurassic Park because that whole rain scene with the T-Rex and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Jurassic Park. Really good. It did come out when I was a kid, but if it's rainy and gloomy outside, Where the Wild Things Are,
mm-hmm.
I saw it in theater by myself. Like there was a lot of single moms in that theater with their kids thinking it was gonna be like some fun, wholesome movie, and it was so depressing. I'm like, this is a great rainy day movie. Then like whenever it would snow, Star Wars for the whole Hoth, all the Hoth stuff. Growing up, another one, Cool Runnings. If it would snow,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of other rainy day ones.
It wasn't movies. I remember I used to read as a kid. I would always read if it was like rainy or crappy or you couldn't play outside. Like I remember reading Calvin and Hobbes books or going over those. I had all of them. Like I just went through the whole thing. Calvin and Hobbes and The Far Side. I bought all those things.
Dude, I still love them to this day.
Oh, Calvin and Hobbes, they both still hold up. Yeah, they're both still great.
Like I come across Far Side stuff every now and again, and I still laugh just as hard.
Yeah,
because his Gary Larson's writing was so good. And like the fact that he could get you to laugh in one single square,
right?
And dude was a genius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't. The other thing about those two, neither one of those comic strips like merchandised out. There was like Far Side had calendars, but they didn't have like there wasn't like merch from the Far Side. There wasn't merch. Calvin Hobbes, there was a whole big thing with him not wanting to license his stuff because he didn't, like he got offered all kinds of crazy money to make it a cartoon, and he's like, no, like he just kept refusing because he wanted it to stay a comic strip, you know what I mean? So people could use their imagination more.
Yeah, there's a documentary about him.
Yeah, it's good. I've seen that. Yeah, or it was like Finding Bill Watterson, where they're like,
going through. He went off into hiding.
He lives in Cuyahoga Falls, I believe. Still, I think he's in the country somewhere up there, and nobody's ever. I mean, I'm sure somebody's probably found him or whatever, but he could have moved at this point too. It's been a while.
Yeah, I would love to meet him and just pick his brain about the genius of Calvin Hobbes.
Mm-hmm.
That Calvin Hobbes growing up, like that, for him to write that at his age, to encapsulate what it was to be a kid and use your imagination, and then just have your parents and your friends look at you like you're a weirdo, was like, that's how I grew. That's how I feel I grew up. I feel like I grew up like Calvin.
Yeah.
And that comic is still so, like, every time I find it, I get so excited. Like if I'm out somewhere else, like flip through it and read it. And like, I can't wait till my kids are in that mood to where they want to start reading Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
And they get to that age, I'm like, here's Far Side. You need to watch, you need to read Far Side. How they never made Far Side into like an adult cartoon is mind boggling to me.
He must have said no too. Like
he had calendars and everything else.
He had some stuff, but there wasn't. Was there Far Side merch? Like, did he do
shirts and calendars? That's all I really remember.
I know the calendars he had, and he licensed those, but did he license the shirts, or were the shirts bootleg? Because there was a bunch of bootleg Calvin and Hobbes stuff all the time.
I think he licensed shirts, because I remember there was the one where it was like the Mona Lisa, but like a cow.
Okay, he might have. Yeah, you're right. He might have licensed the shirts. He might have stopped short of doing like the. Because I mean, yeah, he could have had the money that they could have made on both of those things, as far as Calvin and Hobbes dolls and Far Side, whether it was cows or dinosaurs or whatever, or just a weird looking people. Like he could have did. Yeah,
they're so funny. Like going back and reading them, like I said, he can get you to laugh at a single, because that's all his things were. There was no story.
Yeah,
it was just a single square, and you'd be laughing your ass off because his comedy style was like, the best way to describe it, it was like he was like the Mitch Hedberg of comics.
Mm-hmm. It was like one-liners, you know what I mean? Like it was like one-liner, but his panels it was always one-liner, you know what I mean? Like there was never like some big explanation or whatever else like that too. It was just
it was just every single one. Like I loved those books so much. I used to rent them out of the school library. Why the school library had them is beyond me, but I used to rent them out all the time.
I used to do that too. I think I still have all the Calvin and Hobbes, but they're all in storage. The Calvin and Hobbes books, I still have some Far Side ones, whatever from.
Now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole of getting Far Side books.
Yeah, you can get. I mean, for a long time, you could get all that stuff super cheap. I mean, you might even still be able to, because they mass produce so many of them, and then they would sell them back. You go to any kind of secondhand bookstore and find all those for a buck or two.
I'm gonna start buying them.
Yeah, I think I have all the Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah, I have all the Calvin and Hobbes.
I literally am. I think that's gonna be one of the things I do, to start buying. People are like, oh, what do you have over here? What have you been reading? Oh, Far Side, Calvin and Hobbes. Like, yes, the greats.
It'd be cool to own like an original piece of artwork from either of those, and I don't know if any of that's out there at all.
Oh God, who knows?
I mean, there's got to be some Calvin and Hobbes stuff too, because he had to submit that to newspapers, or whatever. So like, as long as they didn't destroy it after the fact or whatever, like somebody might have held on to that, or it's probably sitting at some defunct newspaper
or
building,
sitting at like the Smithsonian or something.
Well, there's that too. Like, I mean, some of it's been preserved, but yeah, like it'd be cool to.
It would be awesome to have a piece of the artwork, even if it was. My favorite Calvin Hobbes things were the snowmen.
Yeah, when he could do it, he would build the crazy snowmen, and then there was the whole book where it was like a whole series of him going to battle with the snowmen, and he freezes them at night. Like,
God, they were so good.
I know,
so good. Oh man, but another thing I used to do when I was a kid. It's football season, so it triggered this memory for me. Did you ever go to Valley View? It was over in like the Brookfield area. It was like I want to say it was like a grocery general store, department store kind of thing. I don't know. We never shopped there. We'd only go there because they'd constantly bring in Browns players, and you could meet them for free. So my mom would always bring me there to meet them. I'm trying to think who I met there. I think I met Eric Metcalf. I think I met Ice Cube McNeil. There's Webster Slaughter. I think those are the three I met there. But like that was the only reason why we even go there was because there's Browns players signing for free.
I feel like my dad went there and got my brother and I Bob Golick's autograph the one time, just because he happened to be sort of in the area and Bob Golick was there. I remember we had those things tacked to our wall as kids like forever, until eventually they just disintegrate off the wall because we'd fall into it, or like it's the random where we take it down and put it up too many times, and then like the corners would all wear out. You'd be like, you would keep having to stick the tack in further and further to crap you hung to your walls. But yeah, Bob Golick was one of the ones. And I remember he got Bob Golick, like who the, as a little kid, like who the hell's Bob Golick? Like I was one of Bernie Kosar, or like, one of the players I knew, or Kevin Mack or something like that.
Oh, that's who it was. I didn't mean Ice Cube McNeil. It was Kevin Mack.
Yeah.
That's who I met. But yeah, they used to bring in football players all the time. They used to give them like generic cards to sign for free. I always had to wear the same damn Bernie Kosar shirt every single time. I think that Bernie Kosar shirt had to have been the shirt I wore most throughout my life, because like all these pictures from me as a kid, it's like I'm always in this goddamn Bernie Kosar shirt. It probably by the time I was done wearing it was probably nothing but a collar because I wore it so much. Like I literally wore that shirt so much. But yeah, I used to go to Valley View all the time, because the one memory I have going there to meet someone. You remember Penny Racers?
I don't think so.
The little cars, you'd put a penny in them, and you pull them back.
Oh yeah,
and they'd wheelie and crap. Because we were waiting there. I was so bored. I brought my penny racer with me, and I was like zipping it down the line, waiting to meet whatever Cleveland Brown was there for me to meet. Yeah, stores really don't even do that crap anymore because now they all charge like stupid ass money.
Yeah, there's no free autographs anymore from anybody really, and unless they happen to be coming to some charity event, but they're probably getting paid to be there anyway, and it's not like so. Yeah, but yeah, there's not a lot of free autographs out there anymore.
No, especially like if you go to the Cleveland Browns games and you get club seats, like every game they'll have an ex-Brown there to sign for free, but you're paying so much money for the club seats.
Yeah,
yeah, it's free.
We used to get Cleveland Indians autographs all the time at the game because there was at the old stadium, you could just park right by their parking lot, the player parking lot, whatever, and right where they walked in, all of them, you could just hang out there. So I remember hanging out with my brother and getting autographs. I mean, Bud Black pitched every time we went up there, so we have 8 Bud Black autographs. I'm like, I have Bud Black, but we have Albert Bell when he signed at Joey Bell before, and there's a bunch of other random Indians ones. I think we had Corey Snyder, we had all but dudes because we just hang out there as kids, and they would, they would sign for us, whatever. I remember there always being back then, those sort of the autograph hounds, the old people. I remember so many times they would just nope, they would only sign for the kids, and
they're still autograph hounds. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's stuff like the poor women of WWE, Jesus,
getting mauled
at the airports or wherever they go. It's dude, and they'll have a stack of shit for them to sign.
They have a big poster board with a bunch of stuff taped onto it. It's that's for you.
It's I hope the security guard just spears you out of your shoes because come on, man.
Yeah, I don't mind paying for autographs. I've done it before. I'll continue to do it if it's someone I really want to meet. There's only one point in time to where I got a free autograph because I purposely got the free autograph. Tom Savini, the special effects guy, I had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 poster, and they kept asking him to do this one convention, Horror Realm, because he lives in Pittsburgh, and Horror Realm's in Pittsburgh. He kept saying, will you do the show? And he wouldn't do it. But he would show up every Sunday of the show and just walk in and go, I'm Tom Savini. And he wouldn't pay to get in. So I brought my poster knowing he was going to show up because he did it every single show. So literally in the middle of a conversation he was having with someone, can you sign my poster? I handed him a Sharpie and my poster, and he signed it, and I just walked away. Because I met him previously, and he was so freaking rude. It was so he was one of the worst people I've ever met for an autograph. I was mad I paid him money. So that's why I'm next time I see him, I'm just walking up to him and getting it for free because I'm not paying this dude. He was so rude constantly.
I'm not sure if I told this story before, but I went and got an autograph from a comic book artist. It was a comic book artist for the Ren and Stimpy comic. When that came out for Marvel, whatever. And I remember going, and he was in a comic shop in Warren. I don't remember the comic shop, but I remember going there with my friend and standing in line and whatever. And he signed the Ren and Stimpy stuff that I had. But I remember buying Howard Stern just became a big thing at the time. And I remember my dad was into Howard Stern, and I was, how old was I? 11 or something at the time. And there was Howard Stern used to rip on Rush Limbaugh all the time. But so there was a comic that was there, and it was called Rush Limbaugh Must Die. And it was this very graphic comic book that an 11-year-old should not have been able to buy this comic book. And I bought I bought it without even opening, but the first thing you do when you open it up, it's Rush Limbaugh with a dick in his mouth. And but I was okay, they sold it to me, and I'm I can't believe they sold this to me. But because I remember I gave it to my dad, I was my dad laughing, and then opening up, he's like, they sold this to you? I still have that comic. I'll have to bring it in one day. But yeah, I still have that comic book. But yeah, it's how the hell did they sold this to an 11-year-old with a bunch of graphic? I mean,
they're probably the only person who wants the stupid thing.
I'm sure it's this thing been sitting here forever. I thought it'd be funny to buy for my dad because Howard Stern made fun of Rush Limbaugh. My dad liked Howard Stern at the time. So it's all right, cool, here you go.
I never knew they made that comic.
Yeah, so one of those, yeah. that was back like right at the explosion of all those independent sort of comic book companies, and I'm sure there's still a bunch of them around, but there was a ton of them all at once back then. So it was like you constantly had these, you know. I remember I bought a bunch of them out of like those catalogs. Remember the comic book, like the catalogs would have like whatever you check off whatever, and you'd send it away, and they'd send you comics back and stuff. So I bought a bunch of different random ones, but it was all these random weird, just independent people probably doing their own comic books, selling them through those. But yeah, I bought a ton of those.
So you mentioned Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern. I think times have kind of changed with this too. It just popped in my head, like talk shows. How we had Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake. Oh my God, what's her name?
It's Sally Jesse Raphael.
Sally Jesse Raphael. There was Donahue,
Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones is the one I was trying to think of. Did you ever used to watch any of those?
I watched all of those. All of them. I still watch some of those stupid ones, like Steve Wilkos and stuff is still on doing whatever.
Wait, that's still on?
Yeah, he's still on. There's a handful of them that are still on. Like, I mean, Maury Povich was on a couple years ago until he finally retired. And yeah, every once in a while you throw on.
Maury Povich just switched over to just telling people if they're the father or not.
That was it. Well, all Steve Wilkos does now is lie detector tests on whether or not you molested people molested their kids and stuff. I was like, oh my God, like, and then he goes off and these people go to jail. So I mean, it's good these people. I mean, he does follow-ups too because most of them end up going to jail. It's like what? But yeah, it's still pretty. Yeah, it's trash TV sort of with a purpose now. But yeah, back then it wasn't at all. It was just straight trash TV.
Is there any specific episodes from back in the day that you remember?
Oh, the KKK episode of Jerry Springer was that was legendary. There was a KKK one on Geraldo too. Remember Geraldo got hit in the face? He's all bloody, whatever. I remember that. I feel like every one of those did a KKK episode or like a racism episode because inevitably they would put these people on stage together and they would fight, and that became like a ratings thing. But yeah, all those. There was a bunch of ridiculous like Ricky Lake ones. I remember Carney Wilson had one too from Wilson Phillips.
No, I did not remember. I don't remember
Carney Wilson had a show too.
Some of the ones I remember were the Shock Rock. Was it Jerry Springer?
The
Shock Rock one that had Marilyn Manson, and then Guar.
I remember Peter Steele from Typo Negative was on the one. Remember he was talking about how he slept with all these groupie women, whatever.
Yeah, I remember the Guar one because there's like, my kid listens to you and you're telling him to praise Satan. And I'll never forget what Odorous Yargus said. He goes, "You cannot blame us because you're a bad parent."
Yeah, right.
I remember that one dude. Oh my God, he wore a black mask. What the hell was the name of that band? He got in trouble for like having sex with someone on stage.
Was it the Mentors or was
it?
Okay.
Yeah, because he claims that Courtney Love tried to hire him to kill Kurt.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then he died because he got pushed in front of a train.
Yeah, yeah, I remember watching the documentary on that. One of those, they made a zillion documentaries on that, but I remember one of them, where it's like, this guy just went away. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like, oh yeah, he was last seen with like Courtney Love, and next thing you know, he got hit by a train. But yeah, he was on that Shock Rock episode, I remember, because he was talking about he had sex with a woman on stage, and
yeah.
The one thing too, I remember.
What do you remember the first? Who was like the first guy? Was it Morton Downey? Morton Downey was like the first one. Like he was sort of the first trash guy, whatever. Yeah. And then a bunch. I mean, they were all kind of a little bit trashy, whatever. And like he was the one that was like he would always smoke a cigarette and he would be a total dick to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember watching him in the daytime. Be like, my dad's like, what the hell are you watching? I don't know. It's got smoking yelling.
I remember the whole ordeal with Jenny Jones.
Yeah, as the one dude killed. They had a surprise crush on the guy, whatever. Yeah, there's been documentaries on that too, I think.
Yeah, and he embarrassed him, so he killed him.
Mm.
Then, like, I remember that because that was a huge, huge, huge deal. And she got in a lot of trouble for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'm trying to think of some other really crazy ones. There's a lot of weird, crazy Jerry Springer ones where it's like, I've been cheating on you with a stuffed animal. I actually worked with a guy at Max and Irma's who claims that he was on an episode. Don't ask me why I remember his name. I think his name was Terry.
Mm.
He told us he was on an episode of Jerry Springer, and they paid him to say that he was sleeping with stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple. Once it got into the later years of that too, and that there's a Jerry Springer doc that just, I think it's on Netflix, I believe, where they kind of go into all of it and how it got, like, they would start setting up stuff at, like, toward the whole back half of that show. It was just all sort of stuff. There was, well, Fast Freddy tells the story down here on his podcast too. Like, he was going to be like, he was like this close to him and Viking Jim were this close to being guests on the show. Like, they had him and they had this whole, but it was all like a setup, setup sort of fake thing. Like, Doug Stanhope tells a story about how he got, like, right to the end of it and then they canceled his thing because he was like, he was going to expose that, like, this is all fake or whatever. Cause like, by the end of it, it got where they just sort of staged everything. But yeah, at first it was like, holy crap, these people are all killing each other on stage. It's like, I have to watch this.
People were nuts. Mm-hmm. And like trash show. I don't know what you call it. Trash talk TV. It was the most like 90s TV you could have because it was so over the top ridiculous. Like everyone's just trying to outdo each other of ridiculousness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. And it was all just like relationship drama and random, and 13-year-olds that are pregnant or whatever the hell else. Well, was the Maury used to do before he just did you're not the father ones. Remember he would do the scared straight ones where he'd have like the drill instructor come on and scream and
I actually just watched a YouTube video of the dude from Evil doing a bit with New Jack of a scared straight thing. Oh my god, it's like New Jack screaming at this kid saying, "You think you gotta have good credit?" It was like so stupid. I couldn't stop laughing. But Maury also did. No, it wasn't Maury. Montel Williams. We forgot Montel Williams. Montel Williams would host my favorite segment, which featured Sylvia Brown, the psychic. And she'd be like, "Someone in here, they had a relative who really liked to eat hot dogs." And someone was like, "It's me. It was my Uncle Jerry."
Right.
Now, Uncle Jerry liked ketchup a lot, right? And the person was like, "Oh, Uncle Jerry."
Yeah, or they would just, the most random general thing.
I loved the Sylvia Brown episodes. I loved them. They were like my favorite thing. I'm like, this is so ridiculous, but I can't stop watching them.
Yeah, every once in a while, I'll get down like a trash TV rabbit hole, and you're like, man, how the hell? I used to watch this all the time, and like, a lot of that stuff does not hold up anymore. Like you're watching, like, I can't believe you used to watch this. Like it would, and that segued right into all the VH1 sort of talking head shows where it was like commenting on everything, and that, and like the VH1 dating shows and all that, like Rock of Love, Flavor of Love, like all those trash shows, whatever. And there's I think it's on the Roku, like Roku TV has it. There's a channel that just shows those on repeat all the time. I remember like trying to watch one of those, like, man, I used to watch this all the time. Like, I don't know how the hell I watched it, because like the camera cuts and the how little that of show you actually see, whatever, like between shots of stuff. I'm like, how the hell did I ever watch this? This is like so like
I used to watch all those stupid shows.
I did too. Yeah. I watched all that dumb shit.
Did you start watching? Vice TV did the dark side of reality television.
They've done a bunch of dark sides of stuff too, because since Dark Side of the Ring took off, and then Vice TV decided to pilfer that and do their own thing.
NFL.
And every once in a while, there's ones that are okay, and then some
comedy's really good.
The comedy ones aren't bad because they actually get people on there. Then there's other ones where it's like, all right, who the hell are you talking to for this? Like, there's some where it's like, this is a stretch.
You have to watch Dark Side of reality television because they cover The Bachelor, Kid Nation, which was one of my favorite shows. They got pulled from TV after it ended because of child labor laws.
Yeah.
Because they actually talked to the kids from Kid Nation. They talked to some of the people from Bachelor. Oh God, they did. Oh my God, that stupid reality TV show about giving you like facelifts and shit.
Botched?
No, it wasn't Botched. It was like the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. It was like called, what was it called? It was called like Beauty and the Beast or something like that. To where like they took like super ugly people and you had to compete on how you're the ugliest to get this to get your face done. But like they did a lot of good episodes. And you're just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. Reality TV was kind of out of hand there for a while. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a lot of wacky shit on TV, you know, still, but yeah, back then that was like the reality TV craze was like, oh my God.
Yeah, reality TV back in the day was gold. I actually my girlfriend's been playing some Zelda game for Switch, and I saw her playing it the other day, and it triggered something in my head of what is one thing that you hate most in video games from back in the day. We'll say back in the day, because back in the day, there's two things that irk the living hell out of me when it comes to old video games.
I mean, if it was like just like not being able to do like simple things in video games drive you nuts. Like if you had to make a jump or whatever, and you would constantly get hit, it's like, how the hell do you time this or do that? Like that would drive you nuts because you'd have to restart the whole level or do whatever to get to that same stupid jump 100 times. You sit there for hours and hours. That would drive me nuts. I'm sure there's other stuff. You go ahead. I'll piggyback off you because I'm sure there's going to be other stuff.
Timed levels.
Time levels sucked. Yeah.
Underwater levels.
Yeah, underwater levels were always usually terrible.
She was playing an underwater level, and I was like, "Oh, fuck this!" And I had to leave anyways. So I was like, "Have fun with this." And I just walked out. Because I really forget like the underwater levels and turtles.
Mm-hmm. That was
Super
impossible. Mario, you could at least get through them, but
they were timed.
Yeah,
like timed levels and water levels. I hate water levels in like any game are so annoying because you literally have to keep hitting the button to swim. And then, like for example, for Mario, you have to watch out for what the hell were those squids called?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The inkings or something like that. Like I just hated water levels, and I hate time levels because then time levels I have to run through the whole damn thing and like miss everything so I can make sure I can beat the level. And then you miss the jumps, like you just said, because you can't. The one Mario game, the guy in the cloud who throws the spikes down.
Yeah, he was a pain.
Being timed on that.
Yeah,
hated it.
Yeah, there were some pretty notorious levels that you speak now, but yeah, underwater levels for sure. I'm trying to think other ones that were just like obnoxiously hard. I remember it took like 2 years for me to get through the first stage of The Adventures of Bayou Billy because it was so fucking hard. And I finally did it. I was like, oh, like I played that relentlessly to get there. Like, and then you go to the shoe level, like a couple of those, like, okay, I can kind of get through this, whatever. But it was like years of practice before, like to get to like I think I could get to like the fifth level or whatever, the sixth level. I could get pretty far in it. But I mean, we're talking like if you put the time, the amount of hours I spent just to get to that point, and it did. It took 2 years to beat the first level, number one.
That's crazy.
You just always go back to it, but it was so obnoxiously hard. And then when the Game Genie came out, I was like, oh, this is what it actually looks. It's like there's no way anybody could ever beat that.
The Game Genie. Speaking of obnoxiously hard, this is one thing I had written in the show notes. Mega Man games.
See, I never got into the Mega Man games. I rented them and stuff here and there, but I never. Mega Man and Metroid were like those were all rental. Those were rentals, and you play them or you play them at a friend's house, whatever. But like I never was way into them. And then whenever I rented them, it was so obnoxiously hard. I gave up pretty quick because I was like, yeah, no, this is
Metroid was actually the first game I ever beat as a kid. But Mega Man, I wanted to like them so much as a kid, but they were so freaking hard. And then you had to beat a certain guy to use his powers against the other guy, and so on and so. Like I can't remember that crap.
Yeah,
but like, oh my god, I just hated them so much. They were so difficult. You want to talk about jumping? That game, everything has to be timed.
Yeah,
your jumps, everything, and I hated it so much. I watch people play it like flawlessly. I'm like, how? How? Like you should be a doctor.
Yeah.
If you're that good with your hands, please be a doctor because
Mega Man games are about goddamn near impossible.
There's games that are well, they'll tell you how to, like, you'll see like YouTube, dudes on YouTube run through and they'll tell you how to beat it, and then I'll go back and it's still too hard. I still can't beat it. I just watched you do this, and like I watched how I'm supposed to do this, and I tried to, I can't do that. Like
it's so dumb. Like it's ridiculous. I don't understand how certain games are so hard. This game's not even that hard. It's just the fact that it coincidentally goes with what you said about the jumping. E.T. for Atari.
E.T. for Atari. So I remember I had that. I remember I think we had, but I remember not. It was so confusing on, you didn't know what you were supposed to do. And I don't think even to this day, like if you tried to pick it up for an Atari game, like it, because like, yeah, I've seen people play that on YouTube, whatever, too. Like, this is actually what you're supposed to do here. But it's like, you would never know. I wouldn't know that now, let alone without the YouTube help, let alone as a kid.
Yeah,
you just like, I have no idea.
The game where you're supposed to jump, but you can never make the jump. And you always fall into a pit, and then you have to restart the whole game.
Mm.
They never finish the game.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you watch the documentary, there's a documentary about it.
Yeah, I've seen that, but it's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah.
But they talk about it. They never finish it because they had to rush it out because it was so delayed already because of the movie that they couldn't even get the game out in time. So they just put out an unfinished game.
Yeah,
and that's why people would get mad because they could never make that jump. Well, long and behold, all these years later, we find out you're never going to make the jump anyways because they never finished the goddamn game.
Yeah, that's why so many of those got thrown away, whatever. Yeah,
they got buried in the desert.
Word got out real fast that E.T. sucked, and it was like, oh no, yeah, didn't that contribute to the initial video game crash too? Like, wasn't that the whole big thing?
Probably, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, E.T. there was a lot of really bad Atari games. There was also a lot of really weird Atari games. Like they did a Halloween.
They did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre Atari game too, which is bizarre.
They also did adult themed.
Yeah, didn't they have a Leisure Suit Larry for that too?
That I don't know, but I know the one was called Custard's Revenge or Custard's Last Stand. And it was him on top of a building, like jerking off and like trying to inseminate Indian women.
Some of them there were some. Yeah, I do remember watching a YouTube video on video games that got banned or whatever. Video games like, how did they let this happen?
Yeah, I'm just like, because all he did was take a different game and just slapped a different title on it. And that's pretty much all they did. But yeah, there were some weird games. Especially for back then. So Bayou Billy was probably Adventures of Bayou Billy was probably the hardest game you ever played.
I mean, there's other ones that are probably comparable, but I wasn't as committed to I'm going to get somewhere in this game as Bayou Billy. Like I played that it was like years. And then the other ones that were really, really hard. I never beat like Gauntlet. I never beat which is like the Tengen version. And there's like a whole thing it's 100 levels and you got to have the clues in the right order and whatever. Like that was so unbelievably hard. You could get to like level 80 or 90, but it would start sending you back. So I didn't see the end of that until YouTube came out. Like that was impossible too. And then there was just so much stuff and I'm trying to think other ones that were just obnoxiously hard. Like I never got any like Ghosts and Goblins was like stupid, ridiculous hard. I was like, I can't with this.
My friend complained about that game quite a bit.
I just quit.
He told me when he was a kid, he goes, "That game was such bullshit."
Or Iron Sword 2 was another one. Like I think it was in the same family, whatever. But it was just like, yeah, screw this. Like
two games that pop into my head from when I was a kid that were incredibly hard. The one I've stated countless number of times was Skate or Die. You couldn't land a move if your life depended on it. Marble Madness.
Yeah, Marble Madness sucked.
I was obsessed with playing that game, but Jesus Christ, is it hard?
I hated that game. Just my thumbs hurt thinking about it because you be jamming a controller so hard trying to get the stupid ball to stop or whatever. No, I did that for a little bit. I'm like, screw this. Like, this isn't worth my time. I
love that game, but my God, was it freaking hard. Do you have any other games that like you can still like you have that nostalgia feeling about like you can still hear the music, you can close your eyes and still see it on the screen.
Oh, Friday the 13th for sure. I played that
Friday
forever too, and I did actually beat that. Like for real, actually beat it. Like how you're supposed to go through it and do whatever. I tried to go back and do it, and I'm like, I'm not. But again, I had weeks and months and whatever that I sat there trying to figure this game out, or whatever, to where I finally was able to beat it. But like, yeah, that one for sure. Like I can still hear all the music for that. There was another one, Faxanadu, which was really good. It was like sort of, it was kind of like Zelda like whatever, but it was a side scroller and there was all kinds of different weird worlds and stuff too. But I remember that one being like really kind of spooky and cool. God, there were a bunch of, I think if I think about it, I devoted to just a shit ton of time. That's all we had to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's what I did a lot in the winter too as a kid, was just playing Nintendo games. The one game I played a ton of, I could still hear the music in my head and close my eyes and still, because it was just the way it was like set up. It was so bizarre to me. Was Solstice.
I don't think I've ever played Solstice.
I played the hell out of that game. But like 75% of the screen was black because they just have a small circle or small square in the middle of the room you would be in. Then you go to the next room and it's like that's still that square and the rest of it's all black.
Oh, I got you one of those.
So yeah, so I played Solstice a ton. Another game I played a ton, but like Solstice I got pretty far in playing it as a kid. Another one I just loved playing because the way it looked, but I never was able to beat it, was Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
Never played that one.
Where you feed the animals the candy and you ride on them.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I never played that one.
One game that I remember playing as a kid, it's like super obscure. I'd love to play it again, but it's so freaking expensive. It's Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't remember. I never had that one either.
It was weird, but like I loved it. But I tried to find it for years when I had Nintendo to try to track it down, and I could never find one.
Played a long time. Ninja Turtles I played a ton of, and
I played a ton of the arcade game.
And, well, the arcade one when it came out was like, oh wow, because you could actually like advance in it or do whatever. Like the first one, I remember like, that was a slog.
I hated the first one. I used to run it from my neighbor Seth, borrow it from him. I hated it.
It was so hard, and then until recently, I did not know you could do this until like how dumb I was or how dumb I am. We're still like in Turtles, like if you wanted to like restock all your guys with energy, all you had to do was keep going up and down in the sewer.
Oh yeah,
I never knew that as a kid. I was like, oh, the pizza's gone. I had the pizza's not going to be there anymore. It didn't respawn, whatever. Yeah, like idiot. Like I was now years old when I figured out you could do that. Like, oh, that would have helped a lot back in the day with me like losing my mind at this game that was so hard. Yeah, like, once you got to the water level, you were done anyway. You weren't getting through that level.
It comes back to the water level.
You weren't getting to that level.
Back to the water level.
It was Game Genie before I beat that game.
Do you still play video games now or no?
Some, yeah.
Older ones or newer ones?
All older. All NES emulator, old stuff. Every once in a while I'll do, as I never had Super Nintendo or Genesis, sometimes I'll mess around with games on there here and there, but it's mostly just NES stuff. Yeah.
I don't even play games anymore. I don't know what it is. I used to play like crazy, but then I stopped, and I really cannot play Nintendo games now.
I suck at them because
they're like, people are complaining about Call of Duty, Fortnite, and everything. Like, it's like, yeah, go play Fester's Quest. You get bit by a rat, you're dead, and you gotta start the game all over again. Like Nintendo games, like I don't know. It's kind of weird if you think about it. Like if you think of it in like a political stance, I guess shit back then was way harder than it is now. Now it's like games that kind of like games, politics, TV shows, everything else. They try to like cater to everybody, make it easy, and don't hurt your feelings, whatever else. Back in the day when we were kids, it's like you broke your TV, you broke your controller, you broke your Nintendo.
I broke a lot of controllers.
Because everything back then was harder. Now it's just everything's so much easier. And I try to cater to like, oh, I can't make it too hard because little Timmy will get mad.
I'm trying to think of how many. I could probably count on one hand how many games I actually beat for the Nintendo, and it's not many.
No,
I mean, Friday the 13th, that's my biggest accomplishment ever on Nintendo history. But I remember that I remember beating Bad Dudes. Or no, it wasn't even Bad Dudes. It was POW. Remember that game where you walk through like that wasn't very hard once you like got sort of played it for a little bit. Like, but there wasn't many outside of that I beat.
I think I could name.
Like you,
all right, let me see if I can name the ones.
You could win a Super Bowl, right? You know what I mean? You could win a Super Bowl Tecmo Bowl or sports games.
Metroid was the first one I ever beat. I beat Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, Dino Wars, because that game was so like dumb. What the hell was the other one I beat? Oh, Contra.
I never had Contra long enough to. I don't think we ever owned Contra. That was a rental, and that was when you played at friends' houses and stuff too. Whatever. I remember like playing a lot of it, but I think Super Mario 1, POW, and Friday the 13th might be the only games I've ever beat on Nintendo, like legit. That aren't sports games or whatever, where you win a World Series or whatever.
It took me a while to beat Super Mario Bros. 1. Like, I think I beat 3, and then I beat 2, and then I finally beat 1 after beating 3 and 2. Because, like, I think part 1 I don't know why, I think it's way harder.
Yeah, I didn't own Mario Brothers 2 or 3 for that matter.
I owned 3, but 2, I think my uncle owned it because I remember playing it there all the time. And I owned Contra. I owned Friday the 13th. One of the worst games ever I owned. I got for Christmas one year from my aunt was Wall Street Kid.
Yeah,
it's like, why do I want to play this?
Yeah, right. I always hated when you got like a trivia game or whatever. Like there was
remote control,
Jeopardy. There was a
Family
Feud. Just like whenever you had
win, lose or draw has to be probably one of the worst.
It's like I don't want to play this crappy. This isn't a game. This is like I don't know. Like I don't learn anything. It's like
they did a Double Dare video game.
Yeah,
nothing like the show.
Game show video games sucked. Like I don't think was there a good one? I don't think there was.
Jeopardy wasn't terrible, but it wasn't exciting.
Nah, I remember that in the Three Stooges
Monopoly
game,
was fun, but that was a game show.
Yeah,
that was just a board game.
Three Stooges had a trivia section in it too. I remember we had to answer Three Stooges trivia. Yeah, as they answer questions with the Three Stooges. Like, I'm 9 years old. I don't know the history of like the actors and it was like hard trivia.
I don't know how Curly got bald.
It was like legitimate like questions about like not even questions about the show, but questions about like the actors and their careers. Like, how would I know this? I'm
bizarre.
I'm 10 years old. How would I ever know this about the Three Stooges?
So like, I'm trying to think what other video games were based on TV shows. I'm trying to think what other TV shows were. They should have Press Your Luck.
Yeah, there was. I mean, they already had animated stuff in Press Your Luck. Maybe there was a Press Your Luck. No, not that I remember though.
Not that I remember either. I can't remember what other. Yeah, they did Win, Lose, or Draw, which was terrible. I don't remember anything else. Nothing's popping in my head. They should have Wild and Crazy Kids, and then it would just been over the top, freaking ridiculous. Nothing like the actual TV show.
Yeah.
They did Finders Keepers.
I don't remember that one.
Finders Keepers was on Nickelodeon. I believe you had to go digging through like a hoarder house. I think that's like what the show was.
Remember they did Where's Waldo for the NES, but the graphics were so bad you could never tell what Waldo was. Like how much like and then you could
I never played it.
You'd be like, that's Waldo, like that's Waldo. Like it doesn't look anything like Waldo. Like it wasn't even striped. Like it's like what? How are you supposed to find Waldo on the NES when the graphics?
That's so ridiculous.
You can't,
I forgot there's also a bunch of like Fisher Price games now I think about it. But it was all like learning crap. There's Sesame Street learning stuff, but like as for like TV game shows, I'm trying to think. Oh, they had Wheel of Fortune. I'm trying to think what they never did. Was it $1 Million Pyramid or $1,000 Pyramid or whatever the hell it was called? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, that was big. Probably that was like just before. I feel like that was a little bit too old. like Nintendo's popularity, that show was already kind of gone by the time Nintendo really took off.
They should have did a video game. It wouldn't have been for Nintendo, but one of my favorite. I should go down the rabbit hole of watching these old episodes. Comedy Central's greatest game show of all, Beat the Geeks.
Yeah. I remember Beat the Geeks, yeah.
I loved it. Wish they would have a video game for that. I can't remember any other. Oh, here's a quick little tidbit of knowledge for everyone. Okay, there was a video game, a trivia game. I think it was a trivia game called The Guy Game. It came out for Xbox. You're not allowed to sell it anywhere because there is an underage girl nude in it.
Okay.
And supposedly someone got a video game show this past summer. Someone got arrested for trying to sell it.
So they found out there was some model for the game that's nude in it, whatever. They found out later she was underage and she's still in the game. So yeah, it's like pandering.
You can't sell it on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't sell it anywhere.
Yeah.
And this last summer, someone posted someone had it for sale at a game convention, and the person, I guess, got arrested.
Yeah, right.
So
I would not advertise that you have that game.
Yeah, but I think it only came out for Xbox. Yeah, it was called The Guy Game.
Mm.
So I don't know how you're ever supposed to sell it.
Yeah.
Because you have no outlet to sell it.
Right.
And then you have to be terrified of who you're going to try to sell it to because you're peddling child pornography.
Yeah, that would, yeah. What if you were just like a random, like, grandma, like a flea market, whatever, like, oh, I'm selling these games. Oh, sorry, you're going to jail, Granny. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You don't even know what it is. Yeah.
What do you mean little Teresa's naked in it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I never knew that up until a couple years ago. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Because what was it? There's some movie out there, or not. Well, what was her name? Tracy Lord. Supposedly, the rumor was that she did stuff when she was underage. But she says that, but multiple reports claim that she's a liar. So, yeah. So there's that. But anyways, thank you everyone tuning in and checking us out. That's it for this week's episode. We'll be back in the future to talk more stuff. We'll do a live one here soon too, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably for maybe after the next Toy Hile.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Let me promote that. Toy Hile returns October 11th. We have the Inspiration, aka the Iconics, gonna be there. We have the Chainsaw Girls podcast, which is Allison K and the Bunny, aka Laura. And then we have the Hex from TNA, which is Allison K, who's also in the Chainsaw Girls, and Marty Bell. So get your tickets now on Eventbrite. BJ will be there hunting a trash can that has become very elusive.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully find the trash can, and yeah, I might have to meet the Iconics because those ladies are goodness. So they are attractive. So yeah, I'm gonna be that weird guy. Like, holy crap! Yeah, I mean, maybe we try to interview them ahead of time.
Yeah, it's that sweet Australian accent.
Yeah, goodness. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't been re-signed somewhere big yet or whatever. Although they probably don't even have to.
They showed up on NXT last night, I guess.
Oh, did they? Okay.
With Matt Cardona and some other people, I guess. So, who knows? There's a rumor that they're going back to the E, so we'll see.
Meet them now before they're not allowed to come to shows anymore.
Exactly, like I told everyone with Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Meet them now before you can't. But that is it for us this time. Peace.